I know one never talks about Paul, what region he's from. The books which he attributed in the Bible, the 14 books, 7 of them historically documented, and the other 14 assumed based off of the handwriting of the text. And yeah, just why nobody never talks about him. You know, he was a Greco-Roman citizen. He was a citizen of Rome. You know how rare it is for a Hebrew to be a citizen of Rome? He was claimed to be from the tribe of Benjamin. Now, this is just stuff that I learned growing up as a Christian in the church. And I remember that in Judges, I believe it was 19 through 20, the tribe of Benjamin was almost completely wiped out. And they were forced to go outside of their tribe to reform their numbers. According to Judges, there were 600 men left. See, around the time when Paul existed, this was called Sicilia. And it was one of the largest trading posts of the Greco-Roman Empire. And Paul gained popularity because he had a way of speaking to Gentiles. Now, Gentiles is the language that Paul uses in the Bible. That is not who I consider these people to be, but this is how Paul refers to them in the Bible. Now, given that this is the Greco-Roman Empire, what are the traditions that were practiced during this time? Now, when I say Greco-Roman, I mean Greek-Roman society. Now, one of the practices in this Roman society was homophagia. Homophagia was a ritual of eating of the flesh, eating of the raw flesh to be exact. And it was a cult worship of Dionysus. This ritual was also referred to as spargamos, to tear, rend, pull to pieces. It's an act of rendering, tearing apart, and mangling, usually in the Dionysian context, okay? Now, anybody in my family will tell you I'm a real history buff. I always have to ask why. I always have to know the root cause of things and know why things have to happen the way they are. And the tradition of the Eucharist never sat right with me, or the Eucharist in Roman Catholic tradition, and also what was it called? Communion in Christianity. All of these were ideas that were introduced by Paul, the Greco-Roman citizen who claimed to be from the tribe of Benjamin, which historical records stop at his parents, do not tell the reference of how they are related to the tribe of Benjamin. He wrote those traditions into the Bible in those 14 books. Now, why is this relevant? Because it is written in the Bible. These traditions are Paul's way of being able to talk to Gentiles. And it is known that in the past, in order to get the Gentiles to come to Christ, you have to incorporate their rituals. So the Eucharist, and this is only my determination, after knowing the region where Paul is from, the traditions that were engaged in that region, the things that the people did in that region, and how it translates over into the letters of Paul. Okay, these were talked about in the letters of Paul. So in Corinthians 1, chapter 11, verses 24 through 26, Paul says, "Do this in remembrance for me, for as often you eat the bread and drink of this cup, you proclaim the Lord's death until he comes." Okay, that's in Corinthians. The bread being the Christ's body, the cup being Christ's blood, a new covenant, and the whole act is Christ's unity with the believers. This is exactly what spargamos and homophilia is. I'm sorry, I can't pronounce it. It's a Greek word, but ogophilia, olomophilia. It's a weird word, but that's what these traditions are. It's in remembrance of Dionysus, and it's done with raw flesh, if you remember the text that I showed you. Oh, and go ahead and get a screenshot of this book. I read this back in 2012. I picked it up at my local library. I did not purchase the book myself, and I don't have ownership of it, but I did read it cover to cover because it had me hugely interested in the foundations of Christianity and those 14 books and how they came to be. So go ahead and screenshot it. This is the book. I got it at the local library. You might be able to find it at yours or purchase it online. But just for reference purposes or to read more into it, I also suggest finding the books with the letters of Paul in it. So you don't have to listen to someone else's opinion about this. You can actually read it from Paul, the Roman citizen's perspective. Yeah, and that's all I have for you. So if you ever find yourself curious like me, go ahead and pick up those books. You will not regret it. Oh, and before I forget, The Two Babylons by Alexander Hislop. That's another book that shows these rites and rituals that Paul has introduced into the Bible. If you'd like me to do another video on Paul, his origins, and where he falls in the tribe of Benjamin, how far does it trace back, what the historical relation, any of that stuff, go ahead and comment below. Make sure you like the video and follow.